I know I'm a little late with this TNA review, but it's time to let the hate flow. Brutally honest reviews from Extreme Wrestling fans. This is FWO.
Check the local list. Don't assume get gas, ride faster. Don't ride the futures. It's the first round. And it's a fighting if you're in it. It's gonna get ugly just as soon as we begin it till the last round. Left to right, I'm heavy-handed. After everything's landed, I'll be the last one standing from the first round. It's a fighting if you're in it. It's gonna get ugly just as soon as we begin it till the last round. Left to right, I'm heavy-handed. After everything's landed, I'll be the last one standing. I'm Mr. First to get the game jumping, ain't nothing. Mr. Quick to trip and load the clip and start dumping. Sucker, say something. Mr. Trying to build $1 million out of plain nothing. Mr.'s gonna be successful, daddy ain't bluffing. I'm Mr. Quick to chop them one of a kind. A madman on the fan till every one of them's mine. I'm Mr. No Look and not a amongst crooks.
I'm Chris Felix, and this is Future Wrestling Observer. Tonight I am reviewing the December 5th edition of Impact Wrestling. So let's get the ball rolling and see who advanced in the TNA Heavyweight title tournament. The first match to kick off Impact Wrestling tonight was Rhodes versus Jeff Hardy to see who would advance in the finals of the TNA Heavyweight title tournament. This match was a tables match, and at one point in the match the refs got all confused because both contenders went through the table at the same time, so they decided to continue the match. It ends with Jeff Hardy winning, but I have to give this match a 1 star because of the poor way it ended, not because Jeff Hardy won. I'm a fan of Jeff Hardy, but I still probably would have been a fan of this match if it didn't end with such a poor ending, with the really lazy kick from Jeff Hardy kicking Roode off the apron into a table. I thought it was a lazy way to end the match, but it's a 1 star match in my opinion, with Hardy picking up the win and continuing into the finals of the TNA Heavyweight title tournament. So hopefully people agree with me that this next match wasn't really a match, and that's why I left it out of my final review, overall review of the show, and the star rating that I gave it. This next match is EC3 versus Earl Hebner. Now if you don't know who Earl Hebner is, he is a TNA ref. He used to be a WWE ref for like SmackDown. I don't know if he ever did Raw. But yes, Earl Hebner, a referee. He had Earl Hebner lay down, and then he had Earl Hebner's son came out and count the 1, 2, 3. And then, he has his son roll him out of the ring like he was injured or something. I thought this was a really, really poor match. And I know that they're trying to build up the heel character for EC3. But with the crowd's reaction, it didn't sound like a normal boo, like, yes, I'd love to hate this guy. It's not a love to hate boo, it was a, I just purely hate him, I don't think he's a good wrestler kind of boo. And I kind of have to agree with TNA fans on this one. EC3 was a dead character before he ever came to the ring, and will continue being a dead character if you just keep... You might be able to save this heel character if you give him real people to wrestle, show that he actually can wrestle. So right now, I'm not a fan of this EC3 heel character, and I had to give this -5 stars. Now let's get to a real match. The next match was the Bromance versus James Storm and Gunner. Gunner and James Storm has been having issues as of late. But this match ends with Gunner getting DQ'd, getting a little too overzealous because he was spit in the face, and he got overzealous and started beating the holy hell out of one, ended up getting DQ'd, and the Bromance pick up the win in this 1 star match. Now I give it 1 stars because there wasn't much wrestling going on in this match, and it ended in a poor way with Gunner getting DQ'd. But at the same time, I kind of have to agree with them doing it, because I have a feeling this is how they're just leading up to the breakup between James Storm and Gunner. And I also have to give it a 1 star because I feel like, even though the TNA added Zema Ion to the Bromance, I still feel like the Bromance heel gimmick is wearing out. And I feel like if they have them drop the titles and come back with a different name and gimmick, they can rebuild this heel stable, if you will, with the Zima Ion still. Maybe, you know, a rap gimmick or something, or like a bodybuilder gimmick, and just get Zima Ion as like their manager and not a DJ or something. But I feel like they can. The Bromans both have really good heel qualities and could be a good heel if they weren't in a worn out Jersey Shore gimmick. But like I said, 1-star match, and the Bromans end up picking up the win via disqualification. So correct me if I'm wrong on the next match. It was Gail Kim versus Lori Dennis. I'm not entirely sure. But this is Gail Kim was giving out like open fight challenges to anybody not in the TNA locker room. And if I remember correctly, if they win, they get a shot at the title or something like that. And my friend had a point. It sounds like they're kind of doing like, this is the female version of Gut Check or something like that. But I really am not a fan of it. Laura Dennis, I don't think it was her fault. I just think Gail Kim is getting kind of lazy. I haven't seen Gail Kim in a good match in quite a while. I talked to my friend Josh, who probably hasn't ever missed TNA since he started watching it like 3 or 4 years ago or something. And he says he hasn't seen Gail Kim have a good match in about 2 years. But this match ends in 0.5 stars for me, with Gail Kim picking up the win. And I gotta say, if this is the female version of Gut Check, or just kind of like a Gut Check without calling it Gut Check, it's not really working out. Maybe try it with a different heel. Maybe, I can't think of one right now, but comment below if you want me to mention your heel that you think should continue this, I'm going to call it female Gut Check. It's main event time. Kurt Angle versus Magnus in the final match to decide who goes on to the finals in the TNA Heavyweight title tournament. This match was a last man standing match, and it ended with Magnus picking up the win after Roode came in and did his finisher to Kurt Angle while the ref was down. So Magnus, I guess you could say, pick up the win with Booby Roode's assist, and this match ends in 1.5 stars. So this edition of Impact Wrestling ends in a 1 star for FWO, and I know this means, because of the low 1-star rating, that TNA fans will flow in with hate mail and comments and dislikes because they cannot take it when TNA gets a bad review online. TNA, I feel like, deserved this 1 star because there was a lot of poor endings to matches and not well worked heels, and I'm blaming this on the TNA staff, the writers, the people who come up with storylines, not the wrestlers, because it's not their decision how a match is supposed to end or how their heel characters do, or getting stuck in a worn out heel gimmick. But I know this, again, is going to lead to tons of hate and people calling me, oh, you know, stick with your internet wrestling crap, or stick with WWE because you don't know what real wrestling is. I know what real wrestling is. You just don't like me giving your company a bad review. I will give them a good review if they deserve it. And if you look at previous episodes of FWO, I have given WWE low reviews as well. I give what I think they deserve. I am unbiased. I've given internet or independent wrestling companies bad reviews before and good reviews. Like I said, if they deserve it, they get a good review. You have to have a good quality, good storylines. Everybody has to work well. If something doesn't work well, it gets a bad review, so deal with it. I am Chris Helix, and this is FWO, and I will see you next time.